What is up, my fellow mobile gamers? In today's video, we got our first impressions review for the new mobile game, Primitive Era 10,000 BC. This is one of my favorite genres. We have the classic base building strategy war game. This genre is pretty much what got me started in making videos. In fact, the first game that I actually made videos on was in fact a base building war game. So I am super duper familiar with these types of games. I absolutely love them. They are, let's be honest, extremely pay to win. But you don't need to spend money to enjoy it. I've had my fair share of times of where I spent a lot of money in these types of games, and then times where I didn't really spend hardly at all and even stayed free to play. So Primitive Era is not much different from other base building war games. It's just basically, I want to say the theme of it, or the skin of it, is supposed to be this like tribal skin, this tribal feel. The graphics are done very well. The characters are done in a 2D kind of picture-like graphical look. So they look very highly detailed, right? It's like super duper high quality, like a picture almost. When you look at like the heroes, and also when you look at the recruitment of your warriors, your archers, your cavalry, which is pretty cool. It's a bit of a different take, but I kind of prefer the 3D animation generated characters, you know, those 3D characters that you can spin around and actually look at. But this is kind of like everything's kind of really flat and 2D, like with a picture. But nonetheless, the graphics are really good. I can't argue about that. I like the style that it's going with. The game is played in a vertical aspect, which you know I absolutely hate vertical games. But I've played a lot of base building war games that kind of are like this, so it really doesn't surprise me. Regardless though, it doesn't really take away from the immersion or the atmosphere of the game. It's honestly fine playing it vertical. The gameplay is pretty much typical, where you're going to be building up your city, your town. You're going to have a variety of different buildings you need to construct. You're going to need to collect resources to do that. And then you have your timers, where every time you do an upgrade, you're gonna have to sit there and wait for the timer to go down. You have your typical speed ups, so you can use speed ups to speed up the construction to instantly have it completed. And then you also have probably the best part about these types of games is the guilds. The player base is absolutely amazing, and honestly, this player base, there's a lot of friendly people in this game already. I've experienced some super friendly people in the guild that I am in. And that's like the best part about it, is you don't have to spend money. You can just come in here and just talk with people and casually play. And that's really why this game is so amazing. And that's why like this genre is so amazing, is because every different walk of life plays this type of game. This is not like a super niche style where only certain people play like gacha games, or only certain people play shooter games. Literally, you can find anyone in this game. You will find young people, you will find old people, you will find guys, you will find girls. Believe it or not, a lot of girls actually play this style of game. In fact, the guild that I am in, our leader is actually a female. It's just a lot of fun to just interact with everyone, because it's easy. Everyone becomes friends. You're helping each other out with resources. You kind of go to war together. You build this brotherly camaraderie of, your guild against another guild and attacking people. It's all there. It's fun. The only downside to it is whoever spends the most money is going to absolutely smash everyone else. That's the downside to these games. And it just, it's the whole idea of encouraging people to spend. It's whale wars, basically. You have one person spend $100 and they go and they smash someone. That person is now upset, so it forces them to either quit the game, continue to play, or spend some money, try and spend more money, and then get their revenge. And it's a back and forth of who can spend the most money. That's like the downside to it. If you're looking at this in a competitive aspect, it's mostly the strategy is still there, But when it comes down to it, it's pretty much who spends the most money is going to win. But if you do have two people who spent the same amount of money, that's when the strategy comes together. But you know, it's very rare that you'll find two people who spent the exact same amount and bought the same exact packs and have like an even playing field. Usually one person is always going to be stronger than the other based on the amount of money they spent. And the biggest thing is guilds are so important. If you're free to play or you don't spend a lot of money, trying to get in the top guild is the most important thing. Once you get into the top guild and you have whales as your friends and as your buddies in your guild, you're pretty much set. You don't have to worry about being attacked. That's another thing is it's a dog-eat-dog world. But I love these styles of games. And then you also have your typical open world map where you'll see your base out on the battlefield. And then there's a ton of different monsters, which are kind of like tribal animals that you can attack, and they will give you different amounts of resources. One will give you food. Another one will give you, I think like attacking an armadillo gives you like stone. You know, just different variety of resources. And then you also have the ones where you can just send out your army and they can gather resources on the tile and then they can come back to you once they're done. Pretty typical. The game has a bajillion packs to buy. If you go into the cash shop, I mean, it's really hard to not buy a pack, even if it is 99 cents. The game has a ton of 99-cent packs ranging from everything to buying resources, buying speed ups, buying scrolls to try and summon at the gacha system to try and get one of those legendary juicy heroes or even an epic hero. They also have different packs for cosmetics as well, stuff to like change your avatar to make it a custom avatar so you can put like a picture of your face or whatever it may be. The game also has things like spend $5 to get your third builder. The amount of grinding you have to do compared to someone who can just spend money, it's very unbalanced, right? You're going to spend more of your time, you're going to waste more of your time trying to grind and catch up to someone who can literally just plunk down $100 and get all these resources, where you could literally have to play all day grinding, and even then you may not even have that same amount of resources that someone could accumulate just from spending a few dollars. That's it. I hope you guys and girls enjoyed the video. Overall, I'm gonna say this is like a 7 out of 10. It's slightly above average, but again, it's a typical base building war game that's really not that much different from any of the other ones out there. It just has a tribal skin to it. Stay happy, stay safe. I'll see y'all later. Peace.